Good morning, everybody. Going to the next topic in CNS, we are going to discuss antidepressant drugs. This class will be divided into I think 3 or 4 classes. Today, I'll be taking the first part. Before going into antidepressant drugs, let's see what is depression. Depression is nothing but a mental illness characterized by a pathological change in the mood with loss of interest or pleasure, feeling of guilt or low esteem, disturbed sleep or appetite, with low energy and poor concentration. Depression in people will be different. That is, different people will have different feeling of depression. Some people, when they are depressed, they might have an increased appetite. Some may not have an appetite itself. In some people, it may go severe and sometimes fatal. That is, when they have the feel of doing suicide, it becomes fatal. So depression can be a serious illness also. Let's see the theories behind depression. What is the exact mechanism or hypothesis behind depression? There are different hypotheses. One and the most foremost hypothesis which we believe is amine hypothesis. This is nothing but the decrease in the level of amine neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine and noradrenaline in the brain. So decrease in these three neurotransmitters can lead to depression. That is the believed hypothesis. The other theories are decrease in brain-derived neurotropic factors. Brain-derived neurotropic factors are required for the production of brain-derived neurotropic proteins, and these proteins are required for the growth and maturation of these above said nerve cells. So, since when they are decreased, there will be decrease in growth and maturation leading to depression. Also, the third factor is the abnormality in HPA axis, thyroid functions and sex hormones or sex steroids. These also can lead to depression. As I told you, the main factor or main cause of depression is associated with the changes in the neurotransmitter in the brain, that is the serotonin, dopamine and noradrenaline. Now, these level can also be influenced by few other factors like physical illness. Illness can decrease, genetics, substance abuse, diet, hormonal changes, brain injuries and other social circumstances. These can also influence the changes in the neurotransmitters. Okay. Here I have just mentioned a few of the types of depression. The first and the foremost is the major depressive disorder, which is otherwise known as clinical depression or major depression, which includes a collection of symptoms that do not allow an individual to perform his daily activities. Second one is dysthymic disorder. This is otherwise known as chronic depression, where depression lasts for more than 2 years. Dysthymia or chronic depression. Here the patient are not very severe, but it prevents one from feeling well or leading a normal life. Third one is psychotic depression. It is a type of depression accompanied by psychotic symptoms like hallucination and delusions. Then the fourth one is postpartum depression. In postpartum, that is after delivery, few mothers will have a state of depression that is known as postpartum depression. And finally, the seasonal affective disorder seen in some seasons, especially in winter season, is otherwise known as season affective disorder. Antidepressants. Antidepressants. What is the aim of these antidepressants or goal of these antidepressants? As I told you, depression is mainly due to decrease in neurotransmitter. Our aim will be to increase this neurotransmitter in the brain. So the goal is to increase the level of neurotransmitters like serotonin, noradrenaline and dopamine in the brain. This can be either done by preventing the degradation in the synaptic cleft, preventing their degradation. Second, by preventing the reuptake. Some are taken up through the reuptake transporter, so preventing the reuptake. In this picture, the blue indicates serotonin while the green indicates noradrenaline. This is just a picture depiction, that is just to show you how to increase the level of these neurotransmitters in the synaptic cleft. As I told you, one is preventing the reuptake. This reuptake can be inhibited. Second is by preventing degradation or the uptake by the postsynaptic cleft. Okay, preventing degradation. So all these can help in increasing the level of these neurotransmitter in the synaptic cleft. This is how we can increase either the uptake. These uptake can be inhibited, or the breakdown of these neurotransmitters can be prevented. Coming to the classifications of antidepressants, they are divided into 4 classes. First one, tricyclic antidepressants, which is abbreviated as TCA. Monoamine oxidase inhibitors, MAOI inhibitors. Third one, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or which is abbreviated as SSRI, and atypical antidepressants, AAD. Okay, each type of antidepressants are asked as short notes for you. Okay, so you should know all the 4 classifications plus the few drugs among the classifications. Coming to antidepressants in common. All these antidepressants are used to relieve the symptoms of moderate as well as severe depression. Now this should be taken at least a duration of 4 to 6 months for the action to take place correctly, and it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the action to take place also for few antidepressants, but a duration of 4 to 6 months is required for the antidepressant action. Now they can be used alone or in combination with other medication. Coming to the first group, that is tricyclic antidepressant drugs. Now these drugs were employed or found employed in drug history since 1950s, and the latest group of drugs are used for the treatment of depression. Now these are referred as tricyclic because they have three rings in their structure. If you look into the structure wise, they have 3 rings. We'll just see this structure in the next slide. See, here in the right hand side we can see the ring structure. That is why it is known as tricyclic antidepressants. Now what is the pharmacokinetic? Just check into the pharmacokinetic variant now. They are all metabolized in the liver and have high protein binding property with lipid solubility. Lipid solubility, they can enter into the brain also. So they are all metabolized in the liver with high protein binding and lipid solubility. The drugs that are come under tricyclic antidepressants are imipramine, amitriptyline, desipramine, nortriptyline, protriptyline, and doxepin. These are the 5 to 6 drugs that comes under TCA or tricyclic antidepressant. Coming to the mechanism of action of tricyclic antidepressants. Here what they do is they come and inhibit the reuptake of neurotransmitters. Whatever neurotransmitters are present in the nerve terminals, they are being prevented. If especially the NET and SERT. NET is nothing but noradrenaline transporter, and SERT is serotonin transporter. These both transporters are inhibited so that the uptake of serotonin and noradrenaline does not take place and their availability in the synaptic cleft increases. Now, as I had told you earlier, it will take about 4 weeks for all the TCA antidepressant to have an effect. So if you prescribe a drug that is antidepressant to a patient, you should always prescribe it for 1 month. Some patient might not have the effect in 2 weeks, so they become depressed, more depressed, and they start changing. The bystanders might start changing the doctor, and they will shift to another doctor. But this should be explained to them that it will take about 4 weeks for the action or to have an effect. This should be taken, and slowly the patient will get better. Here in the right hand side, it is just a picture showing what happens. That is 5-HT3. Noradrenaline and 5-HT, that is serotonin, is being released in the synaptic cleft. We are inhibiting the TCA will inhibit the reuptake and thereby increasing noradrenaline and 5-HT. Usually SERT and NET are the 2 transporters which are being inhibited over here. Now, another main important factor. See, here I have shown serotonin, noradrenaline plus acetylcholine, and acetylcholine has come here. So you should understand that tricyclic antidepressant, apart from inhibiting the 5-HT, that is serotonin receptor uptake, noradrenaline uptake, transporter uptake, but it also inhibits acetylcholine also. Okay, so because it inhibits other neurotransmitters also, it has additional property. This can be utilized for treating condition apart from depression also. So TCA can be used in the treatment of other condition apart from depression. Okay, here this is just to show that is these TCA come and inhibit the transporter which uptakes the noradrenaline, serotonin, etc. Okay, here in acetylcholine, they prevents the action of acetylcholine to take place. Okay, also there is a histamine receptor over here which is also being inhibited. So from this picture you should understand, apart from inhibiting the serotonin and noradrenaline, it inhibits the action of histamines and acetylcholine, that is, it has an anticholinergic effect as well as antihistamine effect. So rounding up with the mechanism of action, tricyclic antidepressants blocks the absorption or reuptake of the neurotransmitter, especially serotonin and norepinephrine, and thereby increasing the level at the brain. Now this also affects other chemical messengers which can lead to a number of side effects. Due to this, it can lead to some other side effects also, that which we will be dealing that later on. Now because these TCA, that is tricyclic antidepressants, has another actions like antihistamine, blocking the action of histamine and cholinergic system, they have antihistaminic and anticholinergic effects. So these actions are used for other other uses apart from treating depression, but due to this it can also give about other additional side effects also. Coming to the first drug, that is imipramine. Imipramine is very closely related to antipsychotic drugs phenothiazine. I think antipsychotic class is over, so I hope you all will be knowing about phenothiazine. So it has a very close relation to phenothiazines. It is used now. The uses, it is used to treat a wide class of depression. I told you there are different types of depression, so that a wide range of depression is being treated by imipramine. It is a prototype drug of the class tricyclic antidepressant. Now since it has other mechanism of actions also, it is used in treatment of nocturnal enuresis. Usual doses 50 to 150 milligram daily. Coming to the therapeutic uses, first, severe major depression, second, phobic and panic anxiety disorders. It can also be used in treating neuropathic pain, obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsessive compulsive disorder is okay, for example, for obsessive compulsive disorder, anybody can explain. It is nothing but the behavioral changes you see in Fahad Fasil in that film 24 North Kadam, I think it is the name. Okay, then coming to nocturnal enuresis, it is nothing but imipramine has been used to control the bedwetting in children who are lesser than 6 years of age by causing a contraction of the internal sphincter of bladder. So these are the prominent uses of imipramine. The adverse effects, as I told you, it has it blocks the cholinergic system. It gives out anticholinergic side effects like dry mouth, constipation, blurred vision, mydriasis, and also a metallic taste. It also will have urinary retention, drowsiness, sedation, plus weight gain. Coming to the interaction of tricyclic antidepressants with other drugs. Tricyclic, first one, tricyclic should not be combined with clonidine, which is an antihypertensive drug. This may inhibit the antihypertensive effect, leading to a elevation in the blood pressure. It should also not be given with drugs like procainamide or diisopyramide, that is antiarrhythmic drug interaction with tricyclic antidepressants, which may affect the electrical conduction system of the heart, leading to increase in frequency and severity of an abnormal heart rate or rhythm. It should also not be combined with an anti-epileptic drug, that is carbamazepine, because carbamazepine increases the breakdown of TCA, thereby lowering the action of TCA and potentiating. So what will happen? The action of TCA will be lost. Then TCA and epinephrine, norepinephrine. It increases the blood pressure, elevating the effect of the mentioned drug. Also, cimetidine and TCA like amitriptyline should not be combined, as cimetidine may reduce the breakdown of amitriptyline, leading to increase in the level of TCA in the body, leading potentially to the increased side effects. So with this we end the class. These are the important points that you should remember with today's class. 1. Classification of antidepressants, the mechanism of action of TCA, the side effects and interactions of TCA. Okay, these are the few points I taught you. Now also you should go open your textbook, read what is TCA overdose and the treatment. Okay, and thank you. Please mark your attendance.